This morning, the state primary elections are complete. We have the results for the constitutional referendums and key U.S. House races.
Also this morning, the election for the next Dane County executive is now down to 2 candidates. We'll hear from the finalists.
Happy Wednesday and welcome to News 3 Now this morning. I'm Kyrie Lee.
And I'm Chris Stanford. Thanks for tuning in. We have a lot to get to with the primary results. Huge turnout yesterday in the city of Madison, 45%. For an August primary. You just don't see numbers like that.
No, people really showed up and exercised their rights, and I'm interested to see what those numbers will look like come November.
Yeah, it's a lot of those races are decided because there are no Republican challengers in the city, but we do have a lot to go, a long time to go between now and November, and those races are coming into focus this morning. Before we get to all the primary results, let's get first to meteorologist Savannah Brito. We have some stuff to talk about this morning and an alert day in the forecast. Savannah, what can you tell us?
Yeah, guys, it's pretty foggy out there this morning. That's the big story today, but alert day conditions for Thursday. So lots to get to this morning. The dense fog will affect you as you head out the door, so just allow extra time for any commutes that you do have. We're down some in Madison, 4 miles. Dane County's fluctuated anywhere between about 1.5 miles up to 4 miles right now. That's the most we've seen so far, or the highest visibility we've seen so far this morning, at least in Madison. Janesville, though, still down to just 1/2 mile. Lone Rock at 1/4. Also Camp Douglas out there. So there is dense fog. Walworth County is the only one in our DMA for the Madison viewing area that is included in a dense fog advisory that runs until 8 in the morning. So again, just something to be aware of before heading out. Temperatures somewhere near the 60-degree mark. But Thursday, that's where our attention is because strong to severe thunderstorms are possible all across southern Wisconsin. The best chance still that Wisconsin-Illinois border down towards the Illinois-Wisconsin border and across northern Illinois. So similar as far as the area to watch compared to what we had yesterday. But we did call for alert day conditions because that threat growing a little bit. We'll show what future track could look like, and I'll have that timeline coming up.
All right, Savannah, thank you. The state constitution will not see any amendments from this election. 2
constitutional referendums were the only questions on every ballot, regardless of party or location, and voters cited against the amendments. The first question was related to the delegation of appropriations. The no vote won by 57% to 43%.
The second question asked if the governor should require the approval of the state legislature to spend federal funds. No vote won this race by an even wider margin. Both referendum questions ended up on the ballot after 2 votes from the Republican-controlled state legislature. Republicans sought for amendments to take effect. Meanwhile, Democrats campaigned against the amendments.
Governor Tony Evers is celebrating the outcome of the referendums. In a statement, he says, quote, "This was a referendum on our administration's work and the future for Wisconsin. We've been working hard to build together, and the answer is reflected in the people's vote." Had either or both referendums passed, Evers would not have the power to veto the amendments.
To the race for county executive now, where it is down to 2 candidates. Melissa Agard and Dana Pellebon will go head-to-head this fall. Agard was the runaway leader with 57% of the vote. Pellebon earned 17%, just ahead of Regina Vitiver in 3rd. We spoke with both finalists last night. Here's State Senator Agard.
So I'm ready to roll my sleeves tomorrow and get back to work, right? There's no rest for the weary. I look forward to the march to November.
We also heard from Dana Pellebon. She spoke about her coalition in the race for county executive.
So we have been building this entire time, and we are still hearing from people even today who are saying, we're just finding out about you, we want to know more, we want to join the campaign. So we are just asking people to reach out and be a part of the movement.
Both Melissa Agard and Dana Pellebon will join us live in studio this hour. We'll hear from Dana Pellebon coming up here in about 20 minutes.
Now to the races for seats in the U.S. House. We now know the party nominees for the races in each of Wisconsin's 8 districts. We start in District 2. Eric Olson won the Republican nomination over Charity Berry. He will face incumbent Congressman Mark Pocan this November. Pocan is seeking his 7th term in the House.
To District 8, former businessman Tony Weed will be the Republican nominee. He received former President Donald Trump's endorsement. Weed came out on top over Roger Roth and Andre Jacques. He'll face Democrat Kristen Lyerly in the general. The winner will take the seat of former Representative Mike Gallagher, who resigned earlier this year.
And finally, we head to District 3. Rebecca Cook will win the Democratic nomination over Katrina Shankland and Eric Wilson. Cook will now face incumbent Republican Derek Van Orden for the seat representing western Wisconsin. Former President Donald Trump also endorsed Van Orden.
We'll have more election coverage throughout the morning. Just a reminder, you can find results anytime online at channel3000.com. Just click on the big blue bar at the top of the page that says election results, then scroll down for all the details of every race.
We're not done just yet. More election coverage now. We're also following the race for Wisconsin's U.S. Senate seat. We now know Eric Hovde will officially be the Republican nominee. Hovde comfortably won his primary. The Trump-backed businessman won more than 80% of the vote.
Hovde's attention now turns to the general election, where he'll face off against Senator Tammy Baldwin, who faced no Democratic opposition yesterday. Hovde cast his primary vote in Madison before speaking to the press. According to a recent Marquette Law School poll, Hovde is currently trailing Senator Baldwin among registered voters by 7 percentage points. The Republican challenger, though, says he's not concerned.
As it pertains to the polls, I'm not getting caught up in the polls at all. So many of these polls are totally manipulated. Putting weight on polls, particularly at this point in time, really, it's a waste of time.
Hovde also criticized Senator Baldwin for a lack of debates. The two are scheduled to debate in October, hosted by the Wisconsin Broadcasters Association. Hovde also called for 2 more debates, but Baldwin has not committed to either of those.
The Biden administration is announcing new funding for technology that would spot tumors in real time. The $150 million grant is part of the president's moonshot cancer initiative. In a visit to Tulane University, the first couple watched a demonstration of the technology. Developers say it could reduce the need for follow-up surgeries.
Folks, it's fair to say one of the most devastating words anyone can hear, and it's not hyperbole, is cancer. We're moving quickly, because we know all families touched by cancers are in a race against time.
Cancer is the second highest killer of Americans after heart disease. The president announced in 2022 a goal of cutting U.S. cancer fatalities by 50% over the next 25 years.
All right, 6 minutes after 6 o'clock. Savannah, what's coming up in your First One forecast?
Guys, we have visibility issues still this morning. Patchy, dense fog affecting most of southern Wisconsin, especially to our northwest and southeast. We'll talk about when this is going to dissipate, and also your alert day that's in the forecast.
Also, the Badger football team is back at Camp Randall Stadium for practice. Hear from the players next in your morning sports.
And we're live at the 608 this morning with a preview of Cornfest in Sun Prairie. Coming up, a look at the action starting today right here in Sunny P.
You're watching News 3 Now this morning. Brought to you by Toyota.
At Toyota's national sales event, we've got a long lineup of vehicles for summer fun, like Camry, RAV4, Highlander, BZ4X, Tundra, Corolla Hybrid, Tacoma, Sienna, Corolla Hatchback, Sequoia, Prius Prime, RAV4 Hybrid, Land Cruiser, GR Supra, Toyota Crown, Ford.
Right now, you can lease a sporty new 2024 Corolla for $219 a month, or lease a new 2025 Camry for $349 a month.
Come in today.
Toyota, let's go places.
Are you ready to make junk disappear?
I am so looking forward to this.
We make junk disappear. All you have to do is point. Call 1-800-GOT-JUNK
or visit 1-800-GOT-JUNK.com.
We'll be there before you hang up the phone.
Right now with Papa Murphy's, we've got a great deal.
Which means I make more great pizza.
Get select large thin crust pizzas for $8.99. Papa Murphy's. We make great pizza so you can make the pizza great.
Such a great deal.
$8.99. That is a great deal.
When a crane collapsed during construction of a Major League sports stadium, 3 workers lost their lives. Their widows called us. When maintenance workers were permanently injured by an industrial accident at a public utilities power plant, the 7 injured workers called us. When a factory exploded, injuring dozens of workers, 18 victims, including all 3 families of men who lost their lives, called us. Because Wisconsinites know who to call when it's a must-win scenario. They call Habish, and Rotier. National reputation, hometown service.
Shopping online for a purple mattress? We get it. With Purple's unique Gel Flex grid and multiple foam layers, you'll experience effortless sleep that's motion adaptive, temperature balanced, pressure relieving, and ultra supportive. But which Purple mattress is right for you? Come to Denver Mattress and test for yourself. During Purple's Labor Day sale, save up to $1,000 on mattress and base bundles and get an instant gift. Shop Purple at Denver Mattress, the easiest way to find your perfect Purple.
I'm Tammy Baldwin. I approve this message.
I'm the proud son of a single mom.
My mom worked nights to provide for us.
My mom worked 80 hours a week.
But Eric Hovde thinks if you have a single mom, you're going to be poor or a drug addict?
That is a direct path to a life of poverty. It leads to higher drug rates.
That just shows Eric Hovde is ignorant.
Come on, I'm successful today because of my mom.
I learned my work ethic from my mom, my single mom.
What is wrong with this guy?
Not everyone knows us, but in southern Wisconsin, Illinois, and eastern Indiana, we are famous in our field. As a Sloan's technician, customer service is our specialty, whether you come to see us or we come to you. We are in the business of supporting your business, and we are highly trained to work on your John Deere equipment. At Sloan's, our loyalty lies with you. We depend on you, and we are proud to serve you. When it comes to service, you can count on us. Remember, think Sloan's first.
You're watching News 3 Now this morning. Moving forward.
Well, here's a sure sign of August and that the end of summer is nearing. The Sun Prairie Cornfest kicks off today.
And that's where we can find our very own Josh Sprider live this morning. And he's next to the big baby. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, guys. Yeah, I've got more than an earful of corn hanging out in Sun Prairie this morning. Look at this thing. You knew the puns would be coming sooner rather than later this morning. This is probably the biggest piece of corn that I've ever seen. And Cornfest officially kicks off today. So we're learning a little bit more about the fun. And this corn is so big. I think my interview, Barbara Beeling, is hanging out around here. There she is. That is the biggest piece of corn I've ever seen.
Well, it's not as tasty as what will be here this weekend, but you know, it's a good stock.
So today is the first day of Cornfest, and you guys are gearing up for one heck of a weekend, and there's a lot that's going to be happening.
Absolutely. A great weekend. 6 bands in the next 5 days. Starting tonight with the parade and block party. The Dirty Birds are here. Friday night, Super Tuesday. Saturday night, the Jimmies are finally coming to Cornfest. So we're excited about that. Of course, 80 tons of sweet corn this weekend is the highlight.
Yeah, you know, where we're standing here this morning, you can see this is where the big setup is going to be. This is where all the corn is going to be delivered. So what can folks really expect? Because this takes a lot of volunteers. It takes a lot of partnerships in the community.
Absolutely. It takes about 1,000 volunteers to pull this off, and that's why we only serve corn on the weekend. And you know, the volunteers work so hard. They'll all be in these bright green shirts this year, and you know, be patient with them because they're doing the best they can, and we love it. That's how we can make it happen.
So of course it is sweet corn season. That's what you're all about here. And what's so awesome about this is the sweet corn that you guys are having has not been picked yet. This is freshly picked on the weekend and gets delivered right here.
Absolutely. The corn is still growing. In fact, it will be picked on Saturday morning and then delivered right about 11:30 Saturday morning, and then we'll steam it up, and we'll also have uncooked corn for sale as well.
Oh my gosh, there's so much to look forward to. Of course, you have your nonprofit partners as well. You guys are always about giving back here in Sun Prairie. So how exactly does all that work?
Yep, so they donate a lot of time is what happens. The VFW, the Auxiliary, the Exchange Club, the Lions, they all take stock in Cornfest, and then they receive part of the proceeds at the end of the event as well. So everything that we collect goes into a pool, and then it supports the nonprofits, which helps throughout the year our school district, veterans, the underprivileged. It just makes our community a great place to live, work, and play.
Okay, and speaking of playing, you're going to have some fun for me coming up here in our next half hour. Give people a little tease.
Well, we've got the world-famous Angel Park Speedway out here, and we have a NASCAR driver who lives in Sun Prairie, so he's brought a car in, And I have a feeling somebody might get into it.
Who, me? I think me.
I think so. I think a special surprise. And of course, the races are on Sunday night, like they are every Sunday night out here in Sun Prairie. And so it's a great special feature and a great way to end Cornfest.
All right, well, shucks, Barbara, we're out of time this morning.
That was my line.
I got you this morning. If we, if you guys want to stick around, we're going to be having more fun in our next half hour. And of course, we have more details up on channel3000.com. Everything kicks off today, the big parade later on today. So come on out here to Sunny P, guys.
Well, Josh, thanks for popping in today. That was great.
Oh, yeah, there's plenty of corn puns to go around for everybody.
You gotta love it. You gotta love it.
Thanks, Josh.
I love it. I love it.
Hey, Josh is always looking for inspiration to share with you folks at home. If you have an idea you want to see on TV, reach out. He'd love to hear from you.
Now checking in with meteorologist Savannah Brito, who's here now with your first WARN weather forecast. Good morning.
Good morning. I loved all those corny jokes, guys. Had to throw one in there, too. We're down to 4 miles in Madison. Janesville's down to half a mile. So we're still dealing with patchy and, yes, dense fog out there. I'd say allow an extra maybe 5 to 10 minutes for any commutes this morning because you will run into that fog along the river valley, south of Madison, and then also eastward towards the lake. Walworth County is the only one in the Madison viewing area that is included in the dense fog advisory that runs until 8 a.m. But everyone's experiencing pretty foggy of conditions this morning. 59 in Madison, 60 in McFarland, 57 in Middleton, 58 in Wanakee. Temperatures are sitting very close to that 60-degree mark. Most of us falling, though, into those mid to upper 50s and then a couple of lower 60s. Monroe, one of the outliers, at 65. The tensions on Thursday, though, for the possibility of seeing strong to severe thunderstorms pretty much all across southern Wisconsin, where all modes of severe weather would be possible Thursday afternoon and evening. There will be a couple different rounds. The morning round we'll see late tonight into early Thursday morning should not be strong to severe, maybe a couple of storms that produce some pretty heavy rain because it will be widespread and falling pretty good, but no strong to severe thunderstorms. This is going to come later in the day. That threat, the best chance, is still exactly where we said yesterday: Monroe, Janesville, Beloit, Delavan, Lake Geneva, and then across northern Illinois. So pretty much south of Madison. Southern Dane County, though, at least very far southern Dane County, is included in that level 2 out of 5. The slight risk. Everyone else included in a lower level 1 out of 5. This being the focal point where that front, all those fronts do touch. So that low, or the cutoff low, is going to eventually occlude, and then where that cold front, warm front, and occluded front come together, that's the focal point and area to look for those strong to severe thunderstorms, which pretty much lines up with what the Storm Prediction Center has for that yellow color, the slight risk that I was just talking about in the graphic before. We'll have to watch the overnight hours, at least the early overnight hours, as we head into midnight, 1 a.m. for potential lingering showers. And then Friday morning won't be anything severe, but just something to keep an eye on, because we will see those showers kind of move in behind the low pressure system. But temperatures are going to top out in the lower to mid 80s today. We're down to 76 tomorrow. And then your alert day forecast. We'll have more details coming up a little later.
It all comes down to this for the Mallards: win and move on in the Northwoods League playoffs, or lose and pack your bags because your season is over. It's a winner-take-all Game 3 in Wausau, and the Mallards came to play. Third inning, Corbin Dickerson bounces one off the wall in center for an RBI double. That was part of a 2-run inning. They'll face the Growlers for the Great Lakes Championship after an 8-3 win at the Duck Pond later tonight. Colin Ray on the mound for the Brewers as they look to even their series with the Dodgers, and Ray just didn't have it. He gave up 4 home runs in the first 4 innings. This one a 2-run shot by the Kenosha kid himself, Gavin Lux. Brewers fall 7-2. For the first time in 2 weeks, Wisconsin football is back at Camp Randall. The Badgers spent the last 14 days eating, sleeping, and breathing football, and only football, at UW-Platteville. It was a bonding experience for this group to help them build up their chemistry that they'll need throughout the season. But now that they're back in Madison, and with just 16 days until they kick off week 1, You could say it feels good to be home.
Those 2 weeks in Platteville were long, but I mean they were well needed for this team to get us focused in on the season.
I enjoy Platteville. You know, super grateful that they let us come out there and use their facilities. Food's great. You know, it's a little bit more convenient just because everything's so close. But it is good to be home. It's good to be back in our stadium, back on our home turf, and finishing this stretch out and just keep chipping away every day.
The Packers are on the road again Sunday for their second game of the preseason, but Green Bay will head to Denver a little earlier than normal. On Friday, the two teams will host a joint practice, and it will not only be good measuring stick for the starters to see where they're at because their time on the field during the preseason is limited, but it's always good to see a different color jersey.
I think it's good. Like I said, just be able to see somebody new, practice against a new team, and kind of that practice atmosphere where you get to see a lot more, and then you get to go back and break it down on film. So it's good to just be able to see new looks. You know, we've been going against our defense every day, so just be able to get a new feel on defense is always good.
And that's it for Morning Sports. Have a great day.
And still ahead, a live interview with Dana Pellebon, one of the finalists for Dane County Executive.
Coming up in our next half hour, we're going to have more coverage of the state primary elections, including the results of races for state legislature. You're watching News 3 Now this morning. We're back after this.
News 3 Now Democratic National Convention coverage starts Monday.
Let the design team at Wanakee Furniture ETC help you find your inspiration and transform your room. Every style, every budget, our creativity, passion, and expertise will help you design your dream space.
Bring quality home at Wanakee Furniture ETC.
I'm running to fight for an America where the economy works for working people, where you only have to work one job to pay the bills, and where hard work is rewarded, where reproductive rights are not just protected by the Constitution of the United States, but guaranteed in every state, because that's our America. And that's the America I believe in.
FFPAC is responsible for the content of this ad.
News 3 Now, in partnership with the Boys and Girls Club, is collecting school supplies for area students, and we need your help. Drop off school supplies at any of our Dane County locations from now until August 16th, or make a monetary donation at channel3000.com. Thank you for helping hundreds of youth by making a generous donation to the News 3 Now Back to School Supply Drive. Sponsored by Metcalf's Market, Lamer's Bus Line, and Midwest Financial Group.
I'm so happy I just put this dress on that I haven't worn in over 10 years.
This summer, feel confident from head to toe with Sono Bello Permanent Fat Removal and get summer body ready in just one visit.
I saw the results immediately. It's the best I have felt since I was in my 20s.
My waist is tiny. I'm very, very happy.
I'm nearly 50, y'all, and my abs haven't been this flat since before I had kids.
For a limited time, take advantage of Sono Bello's biggest sale of the year. Sono Bello's board-certified surgeons use micro-laser technology to safely target and remove your diet-resistant fat cells for good on your stomach, hips and thighs, back, and so much more.
It will change your life. It did for me. I can't wait till the summertime hit. Hot Mom Summer, here I come.
Call 1-800-905-6520 now or go to sonobello.com to claim special pricing.
Hansen's windows, roofing, siding, gutters, bathtubs, and showers are guaranteed. Get 50% off installation or enjoy no interest and no payments for 1 year.
Call 1-800-Hansons. Get it done.
Owning my own home is nice. You can just come home knowing that it's yours. It's a sense of pride, sense of ownership, and enjoying it with everyone I love and care for.
Make a lasting impact on local families in need. Please donate today.
Let the design team at Wanakee Furniture ETC turn your design dreams into reality. With customized solutions and quality products, our passion and expertise will help turn your room into a dream space.
Bring quality home at Wanakee Furniture ETC.
623, our primary coverage continues this morning with one of the winners in the race for Dane County Executive.
Dana Pellebon will face Melissa Agard this November. She's in early this morning to talk about the race moving forward and the chance to lead. First, congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Yes. So first and foremost, what sets you apart from Melissa Agard?
So I am someone that has been actually doing the work of the county for the last 30 years. So this is an executive position. This is not a legislative position. And I have been an executive here for a really long time, and I have been embedded in the county agencies doing the work. In addition, I do have legislative experience as a Dane County Board Supervisor.
Yeah, so you've been rather critical online about the Madison political machine, claiming some discriminatory practices, the challenges of a black woman going up against a white powerful woman. In your words, what has this experience been like for you personally?
Well, it's a struggle, you know, but here's the thing I know. There are so many people that have a lot of faith and hope in the work that I do and the things that I believe in and the plans that I have forward, because just because you have a lot of money doesn't mean that that's the only thing that should propel you forward. And there does need to be equity in spaces. So when there are large groups that are doing endorsement processes that—
You're talking about the union.
Yep. That everybody should be included in those processes, and a couple of us were not. So that was my main point of access and accessibility. You know, I don't have any problem with people endorsing who they want to endorse. What I do have an issue with is the accessibility of said endorsements.
And just lastly, what are some of the issues you'd like to have part in addressing in Dane County?
So affordable housing, taxes, how it is that the quality of life is, criminal legal system, in addition to oh my goodness, health and human needs that are our Health and Human Services Department. So these are all things that I interface with on a day-to-day basis as an executive director of a victim service agency. So these are the things that people come to me and say, here is what it is that we are struggling with the most here in our county. And those are the things that I have a lot of experience in.
All right. Dana Pellebon, congratulations again. You'll be facing off against Melissa Agard on November 5th. We appreciate your time this morning.
Thank you so much.
All right, let's get over to Savannah Brito now and look at your first one forecast. Hey, Savannah.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Chevy lets you begin every day fully charged, so you can go farther. And so can your money. Tow with confidence. Plus, stay connected with available OnStar technology. For summer adventures, Chevy's got you. Get 1.9% financing on this 2024 Silverado when you finance with GM Financial. Or get $5,750 total value when you trade in an eligible vehicle. Chevrolet, the #1 selling brand in Wisconsin.
I became a nurse to make lives better. Today, that's hard to do because of the open border. I've seen firsthand the damage that Kamala Harris caused as our country's borders are. Hospitals everywhere are overwhelmed, and American patients are paying the price. My patients are covering the healthcare costs for people here illegally while their own care is jeopardized. Kamala Harris is weak and dangerous.
Preserve America PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
This right here is confidence in a bottle.
It makes me feel so much more confident than I've ever felt.
They are some of the hottest videos on social media. Those videos claiming to instantly get rid of bags under your eyes. Annette Figueroa is here to tell us why she says this one is for real.
This one is for real, and I'm so excited. We even have a video, and all he uses is a small amount on a clean, dry face. And what it does is it tightens and lifts the appearance of bags underneath your eyes. And I did this to my father. We were at home, so we applied it to his under eye bags, and let me tell you, we were so excited. In under 10 minutes, they visibly disappeared from view, and now it is literally part of both of our daily routines. And not only does it work on the bags, it works on the appearance of crow's feet, fine lines, and wrinkles.
At our $14.95 price, it's the best way to try
Plexiderm and see it work after your first application. Your solution is at plexidermtrial.com or call the number on your screen.
Everyone has their own idea of what fitness means to them. Here's what it means to us. We believe fitness can be more than exercise, that it can build a better tomorrow. It can change how you feel. It can build more than muscle. It can build community. And no matter what your reason, the common goal is simple. It's for a better tomorrow. Join us for a better tomorrow.
It'll be raining cats and dogs again. Time to waterproof with Gorilla.
Waterproof with Gorilla? Yeah! Gorilla Waterproof Patch and Seal.
Of course.
Spray it, tape it, spread it, brush it to stop and prevent leaks. For the toughest jobs on planet Earth.
To stay on top of my game, I need to keep up my energy.
Cliff Bar is purposely crafted with 10 grams of protein and organic oats.
Because the more good you put in, the more great you get out.
Cliff, the most important ingredient is you.
This morning, the results are in, and we are breaking down the key races from the primaries and what it means for November.
Plus, who's left in the race for Dane County Executive this morning.
Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome to News 3 on this morning. Appreciate you tuning in. I'm Chris Stanford.
And I'm Kyrie Lee. Thanks for waking up with us this morning. Hope your day is off to a great start.
We have some weather to contend with a little bit this morning, and then coming up here in a couple of days, some changes to get to. Meteorologist Savannah Burritos out on the patio to let us know what we can expect. Hey, Savannah.
Hey, guys, we do have some patchy, dense fog still lingering, even though we're past daybreak at this point in time. Really east of Madison, Janesville also down to just half a mile. And then along the river valley, there are pretty low of visibilities. So definitely allow extra time, continued time for any commutes that you have early this morning. I do think by mid-morning to late morning at the latest, we'll see this mix out of here, or visibilities will increase. 59 in Madison, most of Dane County and southern Wisconsin sitting in the mid to upper 50s, a couple of 60s, and then a few mid 60s. Monroe is the outlier all morning, sitting at 65, now down to 63. Strong to severe thunderstorms, though. We do have an alert day out for tomorrow. Today, aside of the fog and maybe a few evening showers, will be okay. And then behind this low pressure system that will bring a chance of severe weather, it turns pretty breezy on Friday. Thursday afternoon, evening, that's kind of the time frame on when we're looking for seeing these strong storms to develop out west of here and then track in across southern Wisconsin. Most of them should develop across southern Wisconsin. We'll talk about the reasoning behind that and the overall best chance of severe weather, kind of the areas to look for, all coming up a little later.
All right, Savannah, thank you so much. And as mentioned, we have a lot of election results to cover this morning.
Before we get to that, though, we want to talk about turnout in Madison yesterday. So the city says turnout in the primary was 45%. That is the highest turnout in a fall primary election in 40 years. That's as far back as the clerk's office has records for. Compare that to Rock County, where 23% turned out to vote yesterday.
A potential driving force for the high turnout, the two amendments on the ballot. Voters rejected them, meaning they will not be added to the state's constitution. The first was related to the delegation of appropriations. Wisconsinites voted 57% to 43%. The second was related to the approval of funds. Voters turned that one down too. That's 58% to 42%. Both were Republican-backed amendments. If they had passed, the governor would have needed the approval of the state legislature before spending federal money given to the state for crises.
Governor Evers is calling the result a win, saying that this referendum was on our administration's work and the future for Wisconsin that we've been working hard to build together. And the answer is reflected in the people's vote.
Now to the race for Dane County Executive. Of the four candidates running to replace now retired Joe Parisi, State Senator Melissa Agard and Dana Pellebon will move on to November. Agard finished in first with 57% of the vote. Pellebon came in second with 17%. The other candidates, Wes Sparkman and Regina Vitiver, will not move forward.
We have reaction from both Agard and Pellebon this morning. We start with State Senator Agard, who's currently serving as the minority leader. She previously served as the leader of the Senate's Democratic minority.
I've been in all corners of the county talking with the good people who work here and live here, the people who dream about the potential, and the people who really have generational roots. And it's about bringing those stories together and making sure that we're lifting them up and doing our best for everyone. And I look forward to the march to November.
Then we have Dana Pellebon, who serves as the director of the county's Sexual Violence Resource Center.
If I am elected as county executive, I will be literally the second black woman in the nation as a county executive and the first queer woman in our nation as a county executive. So I think it's important when we talk about representation that we have the people in spaces that that need to be represented. And when we look at who has represented counties across the years, there's never really been any black women in those spaces, and now it's time.
Folks in Dane County will see Agard and Pellebon on the November 5th ballot.
To the state capitol, where we're keeping an eye on a series of races this November that could reshape the legislature.
Here are the results from those primaries. First up, District 16 in the Senate. Democrats here. Multiple members of the state legislature ran against one another to replace Senator Agard, and in the end, Representative Melissa Radcliffe beat her fellow state assembly members, Jimmy Anderson and Samba Balde, with 52% of the vote.
Now onto the assembly. We start with District 47's Democratic primary. Two people ran to replace Anderson while he ran for Senate. Fitchburg City Council member Randy Udell beat Fitchburg Alder Joe Maldonado 51% to 49%. Now these results wrap up the district's race for good, as there's no Republican candidate running in the general.
District 48 in the Democratic primary, Andrew Heisel securing the most votes out of each candidate with 32%. Heisel will face Republican Lisa Rubrick in November.
And in District 77, Renuka Mayadev won over the other two candidates with 49% of the vote. She'll be the district's next representative, as she does not face a Republican challenger in the general election. According to the Cap Times, she will become the Assembly's first South Asian member.
Now to Assembly District 78, Sheila Stubbs will become the district's representative. She beat her opponent, Maya Pearson, 66 to 34. Stubbs currently serves as District 77's rep, but the new legislative maps changed where she could run. She will not have a Republican challenger in November. So this was the state's first time holding elections under these new legislative maps. You'll remember back in February, Governor Evers signed the maps into law after Republicans agreed to pass them. It followed lengthy fights between the two parties that made it all the way to the state Supreme Court. Experts say Wisconsin's previous maps were some of the most gerrymandered in the country. Democrats arguing Republicans had an unfair advantage. With the new maps in place, most districts are more competitive. Democrats likely to pick up some seats.
To an important race for Congress now. In the state's 3rd district, Democrat Rebecca Cook defeated longtime state representative Katrina Shankland in the primary. She'll go on to face the Republican incumbent Derek Van Orden in November. Van Orden is a staunch Trump supporter. He was at the January 6th rally before it became a riot. The 3rd district is important for Democrats who want to win back the House majority. Just a few months ago, a major nonpartisan political analysis group said the district will be more competitive than previously thought. You can find more election results and all of our campaign coverage at channel3000.com or with the free Channel 3000 mobile app.
6:36 still ahead. We'll interview Dane County Executive Candidate State Senator Melissa Agard.
And that's coming up in the next 15 minutes.
Have visibility issues out there. Most of us are down to just a quarter of a mile or under that. We'll talk about when that's going to lift and also your alert day forecast.
And we'll have a real good time in the 608 this morning. We're going to get a preview of Prairie Cornfest kicking off today, including a look at the races that you're going to want to check out Sunday night and the neat local connection. That's all ahead.
Mark, a little help here? Oh, keep it down. The noise is making them angry.
Whoa. Hey, I'm not a beekeeper, but I can replace these windows fast.
Let Feldco be the experts in your home renewal. Right now, buy one window and you'll get one free. Plus, no interest until 2026. And we'll get it done Feldco fast.
Buy one window, get one free, and soon. Hurry. Call now.
Call 866 for Feldco.
To everyone out there who loves Culver's,
the feeling is mutual. Everything's made fresh.
Everything. Everything.
It's our pleasure.
This is me and my happy place.
I wouldn't trade our Culver's for any other restaurant.
Culver's.
Yay! We love our guests.
Love.
Love.
As much as our guests love us.
This is me and my happy place.
From Wisconsin with love.
Welcome to Delicious.
Yeah.
Are you ready to make junk disappear?
I am so looking forward to this.
We make junk disappear. All you have to do is point. Call 1-800-GOT-JUNK
or visit 1-800-GOT-JUNK.com.
We'll be there before you hang up the phone.
Certain this is gonna work?
Nothing to it.
For imprint certain?
Certainty matters. 4imprint is your home for promo gear to wow clients and inspire your team. Check out 4imprint.com.
4imprint, for certain.
Action! Get up to 60% off list prices on hundreds of items at the huge Labor Day sale at Slumberland Furniture.
Incredible deals. Just $3.95 to shake up your living room with a fresh new sofa. Get a power recliner for a steal. And a poster bed in 2 different colors. Or a super padded, comfy, family-friendly reclining sectional. And of course, totally free doorstep shipping with no minimum.
Up to 60% off at the huge Labor Day sale at Slumberland Furniture. Do not miss this one.
Kamala Harris has taken on gang members to get justice for victims. Taken on big banks to pay back people they ripped off. Taken on drug companies to cap insulin at $35. Now she's running to take on greedy corporations who jack up prices to lower everyday costs for working families. They're spending millions on ads attacking her because she'd be a president who fights for you. FF PAC's responsible for the content of this ad.
Thursday at 10, Lincoln Hills Cooper Lake, a juvenile detention center, now in crisis.
Every day you go in there, every individual, your life's at risk.
How did it get to this point, and what changes are coming? News 3 Now's Will Keneally explores the political battle shaping the future of Wisconsin's only juvenile detention center through the eyes of lawmakers. Will Keneally investigates Lincoln Hills Juvenile Detention Center, a system in crisis. Thursday on News 3 Now at 10. You're watching News 3 Now this morning. Moving forward.
Well, here's a sure sign of August and that the end of summer is nearing. The Sun Prairie Sweet Corn Fest kicks off today.
And that's where we find our Josh Sprider live this morning. Josh, what are you up to out there?
Hey, good morning, guys. Yeah, the 71st annual Sun Prairie Cornfest officially kicks off today with a parade later on this evening. Of course, there's live music over the next couple of days. And then the 80 tons of sweet corn are going to be trucked in here for you to be enjoying on Saturday and Sunday. Then Sunday night, we're talking about the annual races, and this has become such a hit part of Cornfest. And we've got a little treat for you this morning. We have Todd Cleaver, a former professional NASCAR driver, a local boy, and now back here racing again. Todd, good morning to you.
Good morning.
So this is kind of a full circle moment for you. What's it like to be back here, you know, still racing?
Well, I'm a Sun Prairie kid, born and raised. I love this town. This racetrack is where I fell in love with racing, the first place I ever came to. So to be here in front of friends and family again it's a real treat for me.
So this is a little bit different than NASCAR. Talk about this car that we have behind us.
Well, yeah, these are purpose-built race cars. They're called midgets, and purpose-built frame. They run a production-based 4-cylinder engine. Some people run some Hondas, some Fords, some Chevrolets, but yeah, we usually get about 30 of us out here. They usually run another division or two, and yeah, we race almost every Sunday, not quite every Sunday, but they've been racing here since before World War II. Every Sunday, so it's quite the tradition in this town.
You know, this is such a full circle moment for you being from here. What's it like to be able to, you know, race in front of family and friends?
Well, I mean, for a long time I didn't get to do that, right, when I was traveling. So it's neat to be able to see, you know, my youngest nieces and stuff have never seen me like in person really race. So just to have that be able, you know, so I can spend time with my family. My dad still comes to the races, my brother comes to the races, my nieces come to the races, all my high school buddies, you know, like all my friends. We get to do it all together now, which is really neat.
So, I mean, this car is obviously pretty small. So when you're out there, you're kind of up close and personal with a lot of the other racers.
Yeah, there's not a lot of room in here. The one part that's really nice about these is with the open wheels, if somebody's going to run into you, they better think pretty hard about it because there's a good chance you might go on your head. But yeah, they're pretty compact. They're not the most comfortable thing to sit in. So we like to get in and get the races done and get out of them again.
I can believe that. All right, so you said I can get in this puppy.
Yep.
Up and over I go.
Up and over, yep.
So, you know, what kind of skills go into driving something like this?
You know, it's like any other race car. They're all different. They all have their own characteristics. Just force yourself down in there.
Ooh, it is tight.
It's very tight, yep. The wheel goes on.
Wheel.
Yep, just clip it on.
Oh, look at that. Wow.
And as you can see, the throttle pedal goes up and down instead of forward and back.
Look at that. And
the brake pedal goes kind of on a lever, swings forward. And you're in there. It's tight. You become one with the car very quickly.
It is very compact. Like,
yes.
There's not a lot of space in here.
Claustrophobia would not be your friend if you want to drive one of these.
So if people are interested, they can come out and watch the races Sunday night. What should people know, and why should they come on out?
This place has always been really great with kids. The crowd will be phenomenal on Sunday. Cornfest is always a great time. You can bring your kids. You can do the festival. You can come to the races after. There's always stuff going on with the kids club. There's always giveaways, all kinds of things. It's always an exciting time.
Awesome. Well, Todd, thank you so much for interviewing with us this morning. Good luck on Sunday. And I don't know if I'm going to be getting out of this anytime soon. It's pretty tight in here.
Hey, and don't forget, if you come to the races, you can always come down into the pits afterwards. The kids can sit in the cars too. Meet the drivers and everything like that.
Oh, how awesome. That's so cool. Todd, thank you so much. Appreciate it. If you'd like to learn more about the races on Sunday night or Cornfest in general, again, everything kicks off later today. 5 days of fun here in Sunny P. You can go to the story up on channel3000.com. I have a link to the schedule of events. In the meantime, guys, I'm going to just hang out here in the car and send it back to you guys in the studio. I'm guessing those chairs might be a little bit more comfortable than what I'm sitting in this morning.
Yeah, I would. So. Yeah, I would say so. Yeah, Josh, I hope you find your way out of there soon. Thank you.
All right, let's get over to Savannah Brito now with your first warn forecast. Hey, Savannah.
Hey guys, it's still pretty foggy out there. We do have several areas across southern Wisconsin dealing with patchy dense fog, down to 4 miles in Madison, half a mile in Janesville, a quarter of a mile in Lone Rock. As we head closer to that 8, 9, even 10 a.m. time frame, I think gradually we'll see these dissipate, but just keep in mind that there is dense fog out there. Allow a little bit of extra time. We're somewhere near the 60-degree mark, 59 in Madison, 60 in McFarland, 57 in Verona, 56 in Cross Plains. We'll warm up nicely. We'll see probably right near the 80-degree mark again. Similar conditions with more cloud cover, though, this afternoon compared to what we had yesterday. But temperatures will be similar out there. A couple of mid-80s as well. Strong to severe thunderstorms are possible tomorrow. We're looking like at the afternoon and evening time frame pretty much all across southern Wisconsin. That's why we went with an alert day for tomorrow. There'll be a couple different rounds, but the only threat of severe weather we're looking at, like I mentioned, afternoon, evening, potentially into the overnight, at least early overnight hours. Southern Dane County and then southward northern Illinois down towards the Illinois-Wisconsin border. As far as the area to look for, that has not changed since what we had yesterday morning. So that slight risk, the yellow color, that's a 2 out of 5. That's the best chance of severe weather. But Madison, all of southern Wisconsin, at least at a level 1 out of 5. Some areas like Lake Geneva, also Janesville, Beloit, Monroe, and then areas south of that are included in that 2 out of 5. This is the focal point, and it does line up with what the Storm Prediction Center has, that slight risk. The graphic I just had up, that yellow color, this focal point is going to be where the occluded front, cold front, and warm front kind of come together. That's where the best chance of severe weather is going to be as that low pressure system tracks just to our northwest comparison to the Madison area across southern Wisconsin. It'll kind of be up near La Crosse. All modes of severe weather are going to be possible. The morning round that we see, though, that's going to be late tonight into early Thursday morning. No strong to severe thunderstorms are anticipated with that, just some heavy rain. The second round, that'll be what we have to watch for during the afternoon, and then also the evening hours. Potential for some storms, stronger ones to linger during the early overnight hours. Shouldn't be severe, but some stronger storms even overnight into early Friday are potentially going to have to be something that we do look for. The First Warn Weather Team is going to keep you up to date. Just make sure you have several ways, though, to get watches and warnings, guys.
All right, Savannah, thank you so much. Now our primary coverage continues with one of the winners in the race for Dane County Executive. We have Melissa Agard, who will face off Dana Pellebon this November.
State Senator, thank you so much for joining us this morning. There's a question I've been wanting to ask you for some time, and it's about your decision to run for county executive. Given your position at the State House, did you want to run because you feel like you could get more accomplished as Dane County executive rather than being in the minority in the state Senate, that you just had more room to get more accomplished in a county executive role?
So I love this community. I was born and raised right here in Dane County. I'm raising my 4 boys here. It's a fabulous place. And having served for 12 years in the state legislature, probably the most difficult state legislature in our nation, most recently as the Senate leader, the minority leader in the state Senate. I didn't imagine that this was where I would be a year ago. But quite frankly, the opportunity to come back and serve in county government, a county government that provided so much for me when I was growing up, to provide belief for our children and our families. It's a really unique opportunity, and yes, I believe that I'm going to be able to provide more steadfast, solid leadership for my community in this role.
And you talk about, you know, you're raising your 4 boys here, and lots of other families are here as well. So recent reports show Dane County has the fastest growing population in the state and is expected to grow substantially in the future. So if elected as county executive, what are your plans to address the housing crisis?
Absolutely. So Dane County has already put together a plan, and it is a housing strategy that has a collaboration with local electeds and the building community, the trades. Everyone is at the table, and we have 5 years. We're going to deliver 7,000 new units of housing here in Dane County. Is an exciting opportunity with the amount of growth right here in Dane County. We want to make sure that our kids grow up and continue to put their roots down, as opposed to exporting our talent and young people to other communities. So whether it's addressing our housing crisis or egregious racial disparities, being leaders when it comes to environmental protections, we know that in Dane County, when we lift each other up and provide that public safety and opportunity, we all do better.
You'll be going up against Dana Pellebon on November 5th. What sets you and Dana apart?
So I was born and raised right here in Dane County, and I'm raising my 4 boys here. I served 4 years, 2 terms on the county board, 12 years in the state legislature, 1 year as the minority leader. I have deep roots in this community. Relationships with local elected officials, mayors from across Dane County, relationships with folks in the state legislature, as well as our federal delegation, and frankly, with the amount of support that we saw coming through with the primary results, I believe the trust and support of people across Dane County. But here's a new day, turning the page to a new chapter, rolling up my sleeves and continuing the hard work, traveling around the county and hearing about people's dreams and being able to lift them up.
What are some of the priorities day one, if elected, that you want to tackle?
Well, we need to continue moving forward to address environmental protections here in Dane County. Climate change is real, and clearly we define ourselves with our lakes and our natural spaces here in Dane County. Continuing to be a national example when it comes to protecting our vulnerable friends and neighbors. Our human services are very, very important. Making sure that everyone who lives, works, and plays in Dane County knows that they are safe, however it is that they define their safety, is vitally important. And supporting our entrepreneurs and businesses in Main Streets. We're not going to be able to keep up with that growth if we don't capture as many tax dollars as possible. And we can do this all with the lens of fiscal responsibility. We know that, you know, each of us, those dollars that are going into our government are our investment in a strong community, and I take that very seriously.
All right. Well, Melissa Agard, thank you so much for joining us this morning, and congratulations.
Thank you so much.
All right, we'll be back after this with the Morning Sprint.
But first, before we go, if you have a little one who's turning 3 soon, we do want to hear from you, so please let us know. You can email us at lookwho's3@WISC-TV.com. We'll be right back.
Sponsored by Three Bears Resort, Indoor Water Park and Conference Center in Warrens, Wisconsin.
A1 Furniture and Mattress is closing their giant showroom, and that means the best prices ever. Everything must go. Over $1 million in inventory must be sold. Name brands at huge discounts for every room. Store closing sale on now at A1 Furniture and Mattress.
Arby's is full of choices. Quick, you can get your favorite stuff 3 for $5. Incredible value for a limited time. Reach in and eat whatever you grab. Arby's, we have the meats.
Oh, another morning to savor the crunchy nooks and crannies splendor of a Thomas's English muffin.
Tom, which is a nook and which is a cranny?
That's a nook, cranny, 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 nook, cranny. I mean, they should be teaching you this in school. Huzzah! A toast to breakfast.
I have type 2 diabetes, but I manage it well. It's a little pill with a big story to tell. I take once daily Jardiance at each day's start. As time went on, it was easy to see I'm lowering my A1C.
Jardiance works 24/7 in your body to flush out some sugar. And for adults with type 2 diabetes and known heart disease, Jardiance can lower the risk of cardiovascular death too.
Serious side effects may include ketoacidosis that may be fatal, dehydration that can lead to sudden worsening of kidney function, and genital yeast or urinary tract infections. A rare life-threatening bacterial infection in the skin of the perineum could occur. Stop Jardiance and call your doctor right away if you have symptoms of this infection, ketoacidosis, or an allergic reaction. You may have increased risk for lower limb loss. Call your doctor right away if you have symptoms of infection in your legs or feet. Taking Jardiance with a sulfonylurea or insulin may cause low blood sugar.
Jardiance is really swell, the little pill with the big story to tell.
I'm Eric Hovde, and I approve this message.
There's a side of Eric Hovde you might not know. In his 20s, he was diagnosed with MS, and in that moment, his life and priorities changed. Eric started Hovde Homes. Hovde Homes rescue abandoned children from sex trafficking and slavery. For children who never experienced real love, Hovde Homes offer the love, care, and support they need to heal. MS changed Eric's life, and thousands of children are alive today because of it.
It's Toyota's national sales event. Swipe into end of summer fun with an exciting new Toyota. Whether you're paddle boarding in a RAV4, mountain biking in a Tacoma, or tubing with your best friends in a Camry, you'll find plenty to post about all summer long.
Right now, during Toyota's national sales event, you can lease a new Tacoma for $349 a month, or get 2.99% APR for 60 months on a new Tundra.
Come in today. Ooh, like.
Toyota, let's go places.
A1 Furniture and Mattress is closing their giant showroom, and that means the best prices ever. Everything must go. Over $1 million in inventory must be sold. Name brands at huge discounts for every room. Store closing sale on now at A1 Furniture and Mattress.
Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
6:55, time for the morning sprint.
2 amendments will not be added to the state's constitution. Voters across the state rejected both in yesterday's primaries. The Republican-backed amendments would have curtailed the governor's authority to use federal funds given to the state to deal with crises. Governor Evers is calling this outcome a win.
Race for Dane County Executive down from 4 candidates to 2. Melissa Agard and Dana Pellebon will go head-to-head this fall as the top 2 finishers. Agard, the runaway leader with 57% of the vote compared to Pellebon's 17%. They'll go head-to-head on November 5th.
The United Auto Workers Union is suing Donald Trump and Elon Musk. The union says the two made threats meant to intimidate workers who go on strike. During a live conversation on X Monday, Trump referred to Musk as the cutter and praised the Tesla CEO for his anti-union stances.
National Highway Traffic Safety Administration telling owners of older Fords and Mazdas not to drive them. That's because they have dangerous Takata airbag inflators. The NTSA says the inflators can explode and shoot metal fragments out. Ford and Mazda are offering free towing, mobile repairs, and loaner vehicles.
Temperatures will make it into the lower 80s today, maybe a few isolated showers. That increases through the evening, but then more specifically overnight into Thursday, that's when it'll be pretty heavy. And we do have an alert day out for tomorrow. Watching the afternoon and evening, we could potentially even see a break still at that point in time. Also, the overnight round, so maybe coming a little bit later than initially anticipated. Model runs, or at least the latest model runs, are showing potentially that overnight threat.
Okay. All right, I know our team will be tracking that all day.
Yes, we will.
Savannah, thank you.
Another news and weather update in 30 minutes.